That's the reason why you need to vote for these folks in normal times. It's rare to get people like this to run for office and serve. But I want to talk to you about the other reality. And that is that rarely does a state, rarely do a people get the opportunity that you've been handed. And that is to determine in a non-presidential race the very direction of the country. Now, I want you to know what we run into all across the country. What we run into are people that run for office, and they will tell you, I am not a radical. I am going to be a moderate. I am going to be, and that may very well be who they are. Unfortunately, when it comes time to vote, they vote right down the party line. I'm not going to say who it is, but the other day on television, I saw one of these so-called moderate Democratic members of the Senate, and I believe he is. I believe that that's exactly who he is. That's just not how he votes. And so on issue after issue, that's not how they vote. Now, in this particular case, the two individuals that are running as their opponents aren't moderates and don't pretend to be, or at least maybe they'll pretend to be now. But it's irrelevant, because when they get there, they vote right down the line. And what is that line? Well, let me tell you what that line is. A lot of people are writing nationally. I live in Miami, Florida. Grown up there almost my entire life. And people say, oh, it's amazing how well the president did there. Republicans made tremendous gains down there. 2 congressional seats flipped. And they ask... And I have all these people from the national press asking, why did that happen? You know, what happened? What did Republicans do to get the Hispanic vote and so forth? And I said, the Democrats that were running are crazy. These are crazy things that they're talking about doing. And normal people don't like crazy things. What do I mean by crazy? This is real crazy. These are crazy things they don't like. They don't think, look, everybody supports the First Amendment. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but we should all support the First Amendment right to protest. If there's a problem and you don't like it, you have every right in the world to protest. That's a key part of our rights and of our country. You don't have a right to burn down a city. You don't have a right to take over a street. You know, there is no, we forget a week ago at this time, or maybe 8 days ago at this time, the news was filled with stories of major American cities where these businesses were putting up plywood, which is what we do when a hurricane is on the way, but not when an election is on the way. And I assure you, they weren't putting up that plywood because conservatives were going to be upset at the outcome of an election. These are radical elements. These are radical elements. So these people don't like that. These people don't like police brutality. Our men and women in law enforcement are extraordinary human beings. Now, they'll be the first ones to tell you that, like any endeavor that involves human beings, there are people among them that do things that shouldn't be done. But that doesn't mean you get rid of the police department and replace them with social workers. Because if, God forbid, tonight someone breaks into your home and holds your family at gunpoint, you don't want a grief counselor. You don't want somebody there to sort of talk them through it. You want police officers to show up and save your life and your family's life. And so they think defunding the police is crazy. They think it's crazy. They're upset. You know, some people are really upset about this. They've got kids. I know, forget about people. I personally know people whose kids are in college, okay? And they've got a crazy professor saying outrageous things. And I'm not saying all professors are crazy. I'm saying there's a lot of crazy professors. There are. Believe whatever you want. But these kids are terrified. They're terrified that they're going to fail that course or get a bad grade if they don't agree with the crazy. There are people in America who work in places where they are afraid to put a bumper sticker on their car or wear a hat because they could get fired. And if you think I'm exaggerating, they're making lists. There are people right now making lists of people they want to go after. And members of Congress making lists about people, we're going to go after these people and destroy their lives. This is lunacy. It's lunacy. So yeah, normal people, you know, that just, here's normal people that want to own a home and raise their family in a safe community and retire with dignity and have a country that's safe and stable and give their children a chance at a better life, they're going to vote against people that are crazy and that want to undermine all of that. And that's what's at stake in this election. Because if we don't control the United States Senate, that is the agenda that's going to be pushed. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if the majority of the Democrats, if you polled them and gave them truth serum, were not in favor of it. Because all the energy in that party, all the money in that party, all the people who get on the cover of magazines in that party are in favor of these radical things.